This Cummins Explorer project needs brakes. But the problem is, if we take a look at the chassis, here's the brake line, here's where it's supposed to go. Doesn't quite fit. Also, some joker didn't think he'd be using this axle. So there's my rear brake line. That needs fixed. And finally, I was just going to reuse the old brake line, but this is crap, so I'm going to replace it. I'll probably need all the tools to do this as well. Let's get some brakes done. That turned out beautifully. I don't know if it's because I'm using nickel copper lines, which are a lot easier to form, or if it's just this set. But this die style set that I'm using, I think it was only like 60 bucks on Amazon, and this is probably the best brake set I've ever used. If I had all the money in the world to spend, I'd probably buy an Eastwood set, but this was very good value for money. So far, it's been way easier than I'm used to doing brakes is, so I'm going to put links to all this stuff in the description if you're interested in checking it out, but I would highly recommend these nickel copper lines and this brake set at least. Let's get back to work. That worked pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that. The only issue is that these self-tapping bolts that I've been using, I was hoping I would just be able to use those to drill into here, but unfortunately I broke one and I've been stripping others. So I had to resort to using an actual tap, but that's not that big of a deal. It still went in easy. This nickel copper line is really easy to work with. I basically bent it all by hand. And that brake flaring tool I have has been really nice. I bought a brake bending tool, but I haven't even had to use it yet, so. And now this line here will have to connect to the front of the brake master cylinder, and now I just need to run the brakes to the back, which will then connect to the rear of the brake master cylinder. So once the body goes back on, the front line will go there, and then I'll need one more line to run there. Let's get going on the back now. This is as far as I can get the brakes done for now. I put extended brake lines on the front and on the rear so that my brake lines are long enough that there's enough room for articulation on the front and back. And then I ran this nickel copper line in the front to connect the front two tires, and then in the back all the way up to this point. Now all I need to do is run one line from the front brakes up to the master cylinder, and then I need to extend this line up to the master cylinder as well. But I won't be able to do that until I have the body on. So for now, this is brakes done, and I'll finish those last two little things once the body's back on. I've done brake lines before, and I've used those wing nut style deals. Those are terrible. I won't use those anymore. I'll use this because it worked pretty well. And this nickel copper is so easy. You can just form it by hand, essentially. Works pretty well. Thanks for hanging out with me in my garage today, and I hope you subscribe and stick around so I can see you next time, and thank you for watching.